Jefferson County Court at Law number 2 is back in session. The court is in session and cause number M332902. Case is styled the state of Texas versus Fernando Cabrera. Mr. Cabrera, is that your full name?
Yep.
How are you doing, Mr. Cabrera?
Okay, how much?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Mr. Cabrera, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Cabrera, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth so help you God? Mr. Cabrera, you may put your hand down. Mr. Cabrera, you're representing your case by Attorney Alvin Samuel. Attorney Samuel, how you doing?
I'm great, Your Honor. Yes, sir.
I'm doing fine. Now, Mr. Samuel, do you waive a record in Mr. Cabrera's case?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
Mr. Cabrera, I have before me a document that is titled Information. This information was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. In this information, it alleges that you, Fernando Cabrera, on or about March 18th of 2022, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class B misdemeanor offense of driving while intoxicated. Mr. Cabrera, do you understand what you have been charged with? And to this charge, Mr. Cabrera, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Yes.
Now, you're pleading guilty freely and voluntarily? And are you pleading guilty because you are guilty? You need to check that box. He breaks that. DWI first. Okay. Mr. Cabrera, I also have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishments. Do you recognize this document?
Yes.
On page 2 of this same, well, on page 1 of this document, it states that this is a DWI first, Class B misdemeanor, range of punishments, confinement in jail for at least 72 hours, but not to exceed 180 days, a fine not to exceed $2,000 or both such fine and confinement. Do you understand the range of punishment for a DWI first? On page 2 of this same document, there are a set of initials on the line next to the box that says guilty. Did you place your initials on this document? On page 3 of this same document, there's a signature above the line that is titled defendant. Is this your signature? And on the next document that's titled trial court certification to defendant's right of appeal, you recognize this document? And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant? At the top of this document, there's 2 boxes checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that statement? The second box that's checked states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that statement? I also have a document that is titled Discovery Certification. You recognize this document? And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant? Now, Mr. Cabrera, before you signed and initialed these documents that I showed you, did your attorney go over these documents with you? And did you read and understand everything that he went over? And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge? Mr. Cabrera, are you a citizen of the United States? State. I have before me State's Exhibit number 1. State, would you like to offer State's Exhibit number 1 into evidence?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any objections?
No objection.
No objection. State's Exhibit number 1 would be admitted. Mr. Sam, you're advising counsel, Mr. Cabrera, is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, Your Honor.
And Mr. Cabrera, your attorney, Mr. Samuel, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Sure.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Sure.
Mr. Cabrera, I will follow the plea bargaining agreement. Well, no, Mr. Cabrera, I will accept your plea of guilty. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
And what is that agreement?
State's offer in this case is 1 year deferred probation with a $750 fine, 60 hours community service, installation of an interlock device, and DWI standard conditions of probation.
What's the court cost in Mr. Cabrera's case? $392. Andrew,
Yes, Your Honor.
she's trying to get your attention.
Sorry.
On the case. So there's Gaston and Haley. Eric. Yeah.
The one saying.
Thank you.
Okay. Mr. Cabrera, the state is offering that you serve 1 year deferred adjudicated probation. During this 1 year probationary period, you'll be required to pay a DPS fee of $100. You'll be required to pay a fine of $750. You'll be required to pay a court cost of $392. You'll be required to pay court costs of $60 a month, a probation fee of $15 a month, a restitution fee of $15. Mr. Samuel, are you appointed in this case?
No.
Now, you also be required to pay Jefferson County DWI education and initial evaluation fee of $150 on the day of plea. Should a further evaluation be needed, you'll be required to pay an additional $50. Now, your total monthly installments, that is the total amount that you'll be required to pay each month, is $196 a month. Will you be able to pay the $196 each month?
Yes.
You will also be required to perform 60 hours of community service, install an interlock device on any vehicle that you own or operate. You'll be required to attend and complete a DWI education class, have a drug and alcohol assessment, and adhere to the other standard terms and conditions of DWI probation. Now, Mr. Cabrera, do you understand the state's offer? Do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just? And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Cabrera, do you have a commercial driver's license?
No,
Okay. Now, Mr. Cabrera, I'm going to follow this plea bargain agreement. And Mr. Cabrera, if you successfully complete this probationary period, this case will be dismissed. It will not appear on your record as a conviction, and you may qualify for non-disclosure. You can talk to your attorney about the non-disclosure because he's quite competent in those matters. Mr. Cabrera, you want him to have a seat?
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Cabrera, just have a seat, and then when she's ready for you, she's gonna ask you to come up to a window so you can finalize the paperwork. Once you finalize the paperwork, you're free to go and you have a blessed day. And Mr. Samuel, you're free to go and you have a blessed day.
Thank you, you also.
Okay, you're welcome.
You're on that much?
Yes, yes.
It's up to you. Oh, you're not even on us.
I know, that's the guy was in the back told me. The Nuna was the lawyer?
He's a Houston attorney.
Yes.
He's in trial, I believe.
Roderick Keith Mouton Jr. Announcement docket, page 2. Both of them is, the attorney's name is Denuna. You look for Edward Denuna is the lawyer. Mr. Mouton, your full name is Roderick Keith Mouton Jr.
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Mr. Mouton? I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Mr. Mouton, you're represented in your case by your attorney, Edward Denuna, who is not here. However, standing in from Mr. Denuna is Attorney Dustin Galmore. Does Mr. Galmore have your permission to stand in for Attorney DeNuna?
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Galmore, how are you doing?
Great, Judge.
Mr. Galmore, what's your announcement in Mr. Mouton's case?
Your Honor, Mr. DeNuno would ask that you reset this case for another announcement. He is unavailable to be here today because he's in trial, and I believe they're still working on this case.
Give us a reset date. April 8th. Mr. Mouton, your case is gonna be reset for April 8th. Mr. Galmore is gonna get your reset. Once you get your reset from your attorney, you're free to go and you have a blessed day. You can have a seat. Juan Carlos Tamayo Araguen. This is cause number 23CCCR 1182, case is filed in the state of Texas versus Juan Carlos Tamayo Araguen. How are you doing, Mr. Araguen? I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Mr. Araguen, you are also represented in this case by Attorney Edward DeNuna. Attorney DeNuna is not here. He is in another court in another county. However, standing in for Attorney DeNuna is Attorney Dustin Galmore. Does Attorney Galmore have your permission to stand in for Attorney DeNuna? Okay. And Mr. Galmore, what's your announcement in Mr. Aragon's case?
Same announcement, Your Honor. We'd ask for another announcement date.
Okay. Give us a reset date. Case will be reset to April 8th, 2024. Mr. Aragon, Mr. Galmore is going to give you a copy of the reset. Once you get a copy of the reset, you'll be free to go stay in contact with your attorney and your bondsman. Please have a seat. And Mr. Galmore, you have any more cases?
Thank you.
Okay. Cabrera, would you please come forward? Andrew, she needs. More recognition.
Okay.
That legible?
It was in and out.
Tell you what, I reached in my
Kaylin?
pocket the other day and my kid had put a Pop-Tart in my pocket. And then I'm in court next door. Thinking about just throwing Legos at the computer.
Okay, this is cause number 23CCCR 0466, case of style of state of Texas versus Kaylin Janae Beaver.
That's Jean. Jean.
Oh, it's pronounced Jean?
Yes.
Okay. Ms. Beaver, how are you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking, Ms. Beaver. You're represented in your case by your attorney Tom Kelly. Attorney Kelly, how are you doing?
Okay, today, Judge, thank you.
That's good. And what is your announcement in Ms. Beaver's case?
Just need some time, Your Honor, if you'd allow us, so I can speak with Mr. Hubel a little bit further about the case.
How much time you need?
Standard reset behind you.
Okay, give us a reset date on Kalen Jean Beaver, page 3 of the announcement docket.
It's gonna be April 8th.
Okay, this case will be reset to April 8th, 2024, Ms. Beaver. Once you get your reset from your attorney, you're free to go and you have a blessed day.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Armando Alvaro.
Also.
April 8th, 2024. This is cause number M331902. Case is styled the state of Texas versus Armando Alvaro.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Alvaro, how are you doing?
Good, how about you?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking, Mr. Alvaro. You're represented in your case by your attorney, Attorney Tom Kelly. Mr. Kelly, I see here that he has does he still have that felony case?
We were reset to March 25th, Judge. We'd ask,
Reset on the same date?
It's the same case.
Okay, we're gonna reset it to March 25th of 2024. Mr. Alvaro, once you get your reset from your attorney, you're free to go and you have a blessed day. And Mr. Kelly, is this your last case?
Yes,
Okay, once you get your reset, you're free to go and you have a blessed day.
thank you.
Okay, I'll pass it on. Okay.
They they come automatically for y'all now, but-
Yeah, I think. Make sure I'm.
That's great. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
I'll be.
Mr. Cole, did your client show up?
Yes, sir.
Yours is gonna be a plea?
Yes, sir.
Okay, she's working on the plea paper. No, just tell him have a seat. Good morning. Your full name is Willie Ray Guidry.
Yes.
How you doing, Mr. Guidry? That's good, Mr. Guidry. You represented in your case by your attorney, Attorney Langston Adams. Attorney Adams, how are you doing?
Doing good.
That's good. And the state is represented by Haley Simmons. How you doing, Ms. Simmons?
I'm good, Judge, how are you?
I'm doing fine, Mr. Adams. What's your announcement?
This, we asked just for one reset.
Reset. Okay. Is that date, April 8th?
What's
Could
the
it-
eighth?
When did you?
The eighth is a what?
The day of the week?
Yeah, that's a,
Eight?
yeah,
Hold on a minute. I gotta look at the calendar.
that's Monday, that's fine.
It's Monday?
That's fine.
Okay,
I was hoping it wasn't Friday, that's Monday, that's fine.
okay. This case will be reset to April 8th, 2024. Your attorney's gonna get you reset. Once you get your reset, you're free to go. You have a blessed day.
Take it easy.
Just have a seat. It's gonna be a while. Who? Chavez?
No.
Which one?
Yes.
Oh.
Darcy. No, he should be, I thought he went. Darcy. Okay, Melvin James Darcy.
Andrew, my body one more time. We changed the DWI and I had to call it on here to write all the stuff down. Thank you.
On that bench trial, like Mr. Collins on the case now.
Okay,
Oh, yeah, wait.
yeah, we wait, there he is. Melvin Darcy, this is not the bench trial. Mr. Darcy, would you come forward? This is on the announcement docket. Mr. Darcy, this is cause number 23 CCCR 0654, case of style state of Texas versus Melvin James Darcy the third. Mr. Darcy, is that your full name? How are you doing, Mr. Darcy? I'm doing fine. Mr. Darcy, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Darcy, do you swear affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Okay. And Mr. Darcy, you're represented in your case by your attorney, Attorney Giles Cole. Attorney Cole, how are you doing?
Do a great job.
Mr. Cole, do you waive a record in Mr. Darcy's case?
Yes, sir.
And the state is represented in this case by Attorney Andrew Hubel. Attorney Hubel, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, Judge, and yourself.
I'm doing fine. Mr. Darcy, I have before me a document that is titled Information Sheet. This information sheet was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. In this information, it alleges that you, Melvin James Darcy III, owner about February 17th of 2023, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you was charged with the offense of make firearm access to child death or serious bodily injury. Do you understand what you've been charged with? And to this charge, Mr. Darcy, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? Now, are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading guilty because you are guilty? Mr. Darcy, I also have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishment. This document is also labeled as State's Exhibit Number 1. Do you recognize this document? On page 2 of the same document, there are a set of initials on the line next to a box that says guilty. Did you place your initials on this document? On page 3 of the same document, there's a signature above the line that is titled, he didn't sign it, he put his initials there, MD. You sign MD as your initials or your signature? Okay, just scratch, just erase that in here, you can sign it. Okay, now, Mr. Darcy. Is this your signature on the third page of this document? On page 4 of of this document, it's on the tab, actually, the next document is titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal. Do you recognize this document? And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant? At the top of this document, there are 2 boxes checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that statement? The second box that's checked states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that statement? I also have before me a document that is titled Miss Discovery Certification. Do you recognize this document? And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant? Mr. Darcy, before you sign and initial these documents, did your attorney go over these documents with you? And did you read and understand everything in these documents? And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge? Mr. Darcy, are you a citizen of the United States? State. I have before me State's Exhibit number 1. State, would you like to offer State's Exhibit number 1 into evidence?
Yes, Your Honor.
No objection.
No objection. State's Exhibit number 1 will be admitted. And Mr. Cole, you advised and counseled Mr. Darcy. Is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, Your Honor.
And Mr. Darcy, your attorney, Mr. Cole, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation? Mr. Darcy, I will accept your plea of guilty. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
And what is that agreement?
That agreement is to 180 days probated over 18 months with a $1,000 fine, 80 hours community service, moral recognition therapy, and the forfeiture of the firearm involved in the case.
Mr. Darcy, let's see, I have before me a motion to forfeit the weapon in this case to the Beaumont Police Department. Is this your signature on the document that's titled motion to forfeit? Now, Mr. Darcy, before you signed this motion, did your attorney go over this document with you? And did you read and understand everything that he wanted? And is everything in these documents, or in this document, true and correct to the best of your knowledge? And you want the court to forfeit this weapon to the Beaumont Police Department, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. What's the court cost in this case?
277.
277. Well, it's 18 months. It's gonna be $900. Mr. Cole, were you appointed?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Mr. Darcy, the state is offering that you serve 180 days in the Jefferson County Jail. However, you will not serve any time in the Jefferson County Jail because you'll be placed on probation for a period of 18 months. During the 18-month probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $1,000. You'll be required to pay probation, you'll be required to pay court costs of $277. You'll also be required to reimburse Jefferson County court-appointed attorney's fees of $250. You'll be required to pay a probation fee of $60 a month, your analysis fee of $15 a month, and a reimbursement fee of $15. Your total monthly installments, that is the total amounts that you will be required to pay each month, is $170 a month. Will you be able to pay the $170 each month? You'll also be required to perform 80 hours of community service. You'll be required to attend and complete the moral recognition therapy class, and you will forfeit the weapon, in this case, to the Beaumont Police Department, as well as you'll be required to adhere to the other standard terms and condition of this probation. Now, Mr. Darcy, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
You think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just? And do you accept the state's offer?
Sir.
Okay, Mr. Darcy, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. Mr. Darcy, just have a seat. And when the paperwork is ready, our court coordinator will call you up to it when, and once you finish there, you're free to go and you have a blessed day. Next case. Next case is Thalia Chavez. Chavez. Okay. Ms. Chavez, this is cause number M331064. Case is style of State of Texas versus Thalia Chavez. Ms. Chavez, you were previously represented by attorney Bruce Cobb. However, you're now represented by attorney Cole, attorney Giles Cole. Mr. Cole, are you ready?
Yes, we're ready.
State, are you ready?
We are, Your Honor.
Okay. State, would you like to read the information in Ms. Chavez's case?
We will, Your Honor. In the name and by authority of the state of Texas, comes down the undersigned. Assistant Criminal District Attorney of Jefferson County, Texas, on behalf of the state of Texas, and presents in and to the county court at law of Jefferson County, Texas, that in Jefferson County, Texas, Talia Chavez, hereinafter styled the defendant heretofore on or about September the 7th, 2021, did and bear intentionally, knowingly and recklessly cause bodily injury to itself or des. Hereinafter styled the complainant by punching and kicking complainant in the face and body against the peace and dignity of the state. Assistant Criminal District Attorney, Jefferson County, Texas.
And, Ms. Chavez, how do you plead? Not guilty? Okay. Now, State, would you like to make an opening statement?
We're gonna wait open.
Defense? Okay. Ms. Porter, would you please call your first witness?
Okay, the state calls itself or des.
Itzel Ordaz, Itzel, Itzel, Itzel Ordaz, Ordaz. Okay, no answer. Ms. Porter, you'd like to call your next witness?
The state has no other witnesses to call, however, the state would like to offer a statement.
Okay, you may go forward.
Okay. Your Honor, we've made a diligent effort to try to reach Ms. Ordaz. We've called every number that we have for Ms. Ordaz. We were able to reach her mother. Mother said she had not been able to contact her daughter in months, hadn't seen or heard from her. So at this time, the state rests.
Okay. Defense,
Yes, sir. We ask that you, have a verdict of not guilty.
okay, that motion will be granted. Court will grant a Ms. Ordaz, Ms. Chavez. You have been acquitted of these charges. Your attorney's gonna get a copy of your judgment. Once you get a copy of your judgment, you're free to go. And you have a blessed day.
You too, sir.
Okay,
Thank you.
I'll be excused, Your Honor.
yes, you may be excused.
Good day.
Okay. We just have Felicia Johnson and that's it. Yes.